So your feet are bare. And as you look at the ground and you can feel the ground beneath your feet, describe to me what it is that you're standing on.
Mud.
You're standing on mud. So you're outside.
Yeah, but it's dry.
Dry mud. You're standing outside. Is it day or is it night?
It's evening.
It's evening. And I want you to connect with that body that you've got there. And begin to just connect with the body and the energy of that body. And you'll know whether you're male or female.
Female.
You're female. And in a minute I'm going to tap you on the forehead. And when I tap you on the forehead, you'll see some numbers. And that'll be your age. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1. How old are you?
26.
You're 26. And what do they call you in that life? What's your name?
Rel.
Rel?
Greta.
Greta. Good morning, Greta. Thank you for coming and sharing your story with me. Greta, I want you to look around, sense the ground there and the country, and tell me, what country are you in?
Italy.
You're in Italy. And in a moment I'm going to ask you what year it is, and as I tap you on the forehead you'll see those numbers. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1. What year is it?
1846.
1836?
46.
1846. So Greta, you're outside on this dry mud. I want you to get a sense of the energy around you and tell me, are you alone there, or do you sense that you're with others? You don't have to see them, you can just sense them.
I feel there's others.
There's others, So I want you to connect, Greta, with the reason why you're outside on this mud. What are you doing there?
Trying to escape.
You're trying to escape.
I feel free.
To feel free. So what is it that you're escaping from? You'll remember what you're escaping from.
From people.
Why do you need to escape from people? What's going on? Connect with your emotions and tell me how you feel.
I feel scared.
You're scared? But you'll know why you're scared. What's making you feel scared, Greta?
I have to marry someone I don't want to.
You have to marry someone you don't want to. Who's trying to force that marriage upon you? Is it your parents?
My dad.
Your dad? So let's just have the image of your dad come forward now in your mind, and I want you to focus on that father there. Tell me, is he tall or is he short?
He's in the middle.
And how do you feel about your father? Is it a loving relationship?
Yeah.
So why is the reason that he wants you to marry this person?
Because I need to be married to a man to take the throne.
To take the throne? Is that what you said? You need to take the throne.
I don't want to because I'm too young.
Yeah, you feel too young. So look into your father's eyes. What colour are his eyes?
They're blue.
They're blue. And as you look into those eyes, knowing that the eyes are the windows to the soul, I want you to really connect with those eyes and go right deep into that soul and tell me, does he remind you of anybody in your life today? And it'll be your first impression.
Yeah.
Who does he remind you of?
My dad.
So this person that you are being forced to marry, what's his name?
Cedric.
See Cedric in front of you. How does he feel about this marriage?
He wants it.
He wants it.
But he's not all in.
He's not all in? Describe it to me.
So he wants it for the power. He doesn't want it because he wants me.
Oh, he wants it for the power. So I want you to look into his eyes now, Greta. Look into Cedric's eyes and telepathically communicate with that soul. And tell me, does Cedric remind you of anybody that's been in your life today?
Yes.
Who is he?
Brendan.
Uh-huh. So let's now close that scene. And let's go forward in that life to another significant time when something is happening. Just feel yourself closing that scene now, drifting, floating forward to another significant time when something is happening. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, you'll be there. 3, drifting, floating, 2 and 1. Be there now. Are you still Greta there?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old are you now, Greta?
32.
You're 32. So what's happening around you, Greta? Are you still standing on that dry mud?
I'm in the castle.
You're in the castle. Describe it to me. Are you in a room or?
I'm in the corridor.
You're in the corridor. What are you doing in that corridor, Greta?
I'm looking at pictures.
You work on the pictures?
No, I'm looking at paintings, pictures of
Uh-huh.
people.
So what's significant about these paintings, Greta, that you're looking at?
They're with my family.
Uh-huh. And how is it making you feel?
Content.
Tell me, Greta, do you have children now in that life?
I have one.
You have one. Describe them to me.
It's a little boy.
So this boy, how old is he?
He's 2.
He's 2. What did you call him in that life?
Harvey.
Harvey. Uh-huh.
He's got brown curly hair. And he's wearing the trousers, but they're really baggy.
Curly hair and baggy trousers. So lovely.
And he's wearing a t-shirt that looks quite muddy. It's white, but it looks really muddy.
So what I want you to do is I want you to connect with the energy of Harvey and connect with those eyes and go down deep into the soul. And tell me, is Harvey working with her in this life?
Yes.
Who is he?
Saffron.
What a beautiful name. So tell me, you're walking round this corridor and follow the scene now and describe to me what you do next.
I'm holding Harvey's hand and he's laughing. Skipping. So we're walking down. And I'm just laughing and giggling with him.
So it's a happy memory.
I feel that there's something dark at the end of the corridor between these double doors.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to freeze that scene. And I want you to imagine that you can lift yourself out of that body. So we're not travelling down the corridor to the end, but we're lifting you out of the body so that you can actually travel over the corridor there so that you can see what's at the other end. And as you do that, lift yourself out of that body and just zoom in and see what's at the other end of the corridor.
It's double doors, but it's darker there. They've got gold handles. And it's like a bricked arch around the doors. And the brown wooden doors, they're really big. They're not a normal sized door.
Well, I want you to use your mind and you just go through those doors before you and Harvey go through them. Just allow your mind to go through those doors so that we can find out just what's at the other end.
I can see my dad being murdered.
You can see your dad being murdered. So who's doing that?
Brendan.
Brendan, so Cedric is killing your father in that life. Yeah. So why is he doing that? Is it for the power?
He wants all the power.
Yeah.
And I feel like I rejected him.
Well, it's hardly surprising you've rejected him if he's killed your father.
I feel like I rejected him before.
So you've rejected him, and so are you saying to me that you feel that you're taking on the responsibility of your father's death because you rejected Cedric? Yeah. But Cedric would have done this anyway because he's a power seeker, isn't he?
Yeah.
So what happens then when your father has passed over and Cedric is in power? What happens?
Then I have to do everything he says.
Oh, so he becomes controlling. Yeah. And is that a behaviour trait that Brendan has?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want you to do now is I want you to close that scene, Greta, and I want you to go to the last day of your life. So close that scene now and just allow your mind to drift, float and wander all the very way to the last day of your life so we can see what kind of contract you made. So 3, 2 and 1, be there now. How old are you, Greta, on the last day of your life?
46.
46. That's a very young age to pass over. What happened to you? Are you ill?
No, I'm scared.
You're
I'm
scared.
running.
You're scared and you're running. Who are you running from?
I'm running from Cedric.
So, with no pain, fear or emotion, you're just seeing this scene and speaking to me clearly. Describe to me what happens in that scene.
He's chasing me down the same corridor. See the pictures either side with the same pictures.
And does he finally get to you?
Yeah, he gets to me.
And what happens next?
I'm running to get to the cellar. There's a hatch in the cellar that takes you out and you can get to safety, and that's where I'm going.
Okay. So just see yourself there now, following that scene, running down that cellar towards that hatch and that safety outdoors.
I can't get down the cellar.
You can't get down the cellar. So what happens next?
I stumble on the stairs.
But
I don't stumble the whole way down the stairs. I end up stopping in the middle.
And what happens?
And then I get to my feet and
Tell me more.
getting to my feet and I'm holding on to the brick wall. And there's a handle on my right hand side. And just as I go up, I'm being grabbed.
Yeah?
I'm being grabbed by the throat with a hand, and then I feel something sharp going into my back, my bottom of my back, on my right hand side, next to my spine. Something's going through.
And is that how you pass over?
The last thing I can remember is I just fall down and I don't
And you don't get up.
get up.
So knowing that you're more than that body now, I want you to take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, I just want you to step your soul away from that body, and I want you to imagine that you're about 6 foot above the body of the scene, of that situation there, and tell me, why did she choose to contract in that life? What was the contract?
Feel controlled.
To feel controlled. Well, she certainly felt that. So is that contract over? No? So she's got some work to do in this life?
Yes.
Well, now that you're out of the body, it's normal that someone or something comes to collect you to take you back home to spirit. Or some people just know the way home themselves or go to a different place. But as I talk to you, I want you to just look around, and as you're listening to the sound of my voice, feel the energy of someone or something coming to collect you to take you home. And describe to me, what do you sense?
I sense peace and I sense happiness.
And do you see anyone or anything come to collect you there?
I can see my dad coming.
Your dad's coming. Allow him to come forward to you. And I want you to step all the way into his energy. Step right into his aura, so close that you're touching and your energies can meld together. And using your telepathic communication, what message does your father give?
There's hope.
There's hope. So allow your father now to take you to your next step. So that will either be somewhere that you want to go after a past life, or to your soul group.
We've gone to the soul group.
You've gone to the soul group. Describe this group to me.
So I'm in a big field and there's pink trees, like they're just blossoming, that are surrounding me in a circle. And everybody stood in a circle around me. But it's making like a C, not a full circle. There's like a broken bit with my back faced towards.
So, are they listening to your stories? Is it a celebration? Tell me more about this.
They're all celebrating, but they're all looking at me. They're all smiling.
Celebrating the warrior that you are. And as you look at the souls in that half circle there, I want you just to glance around them and see if there's anyone that's more familiar than the rest. And as I talk, just glance around. And is there anyone there that you're more familiar with than the rest? Yeah. Ask them to come forward and give you a message today. A little transport straight to your mind. What's the message?
Don't stop.
Don't stop. So you're doing so well. Very good. And tell me, now that we're in the soul realm, do we have permission to connect with her father?
Yes.
Today? So as we connect now, I want you to draw the essence of her father towards her now, so that she can feel his energy, knowing that she can telepathically communicate to him. What does your father say to you about today?
You're okay and you're free.
You're okay and you're free. Is he happy with everything that's happening today?
He's a bit sad.
Ask him, why is he sad?
Doesn't want me to feel any more pain.
Is that the pain of losing him?
It's pain from everything.
Ask your father if he's going to help to release all that pain that you have in your body, in your mind during your sleep state. Can he work with us with that?
He says he's trying.
He's trying. Well, we're going to release some today, and I want your father to stay in this room with us, because when it comes to the body scan, I want him to work with us, so we're all working with love. But now I want you to bid farewell to your soul group and your father, as I ask to connect with my client's inner self.